In this video, we break down how SVU won the 2025 Division III Men's Volleyball National Championship and dominated D3 the whole season. Let's get right into it. So how did we get here? How do we get to today where the Southern Virginia Knights are the 2025 national champions? I think it comes from a year ago in the past in the quarterfinals in Lexington, Virginia, when SVU lost in a big upset to NYU in the NCAA quarterfinals. I think that's the moment that really started to light the fire in this unit of guys to make them want it even more. Did they want to win it last year? Yes. Were they good enough to win it last year? Absolutely. But once that moment happened, I think that was the difference maker to lead them to approach this season and really go after and chase the title. They obviously won it at this point, so they were able to do that. But in this video, we're going to break down the whole way they got there. I'm going to fast forward to the NCAA semifinals where SVU played Juniata. I was able to go to that match. I was credentialed to film it, which was sweet. My first time doing that for any sort of NCAA event. So I got to film the whole match and see it all play out. I think it was a great game to watch if you were in person. If you watch it online, probably just as good. But this was the third matchup between Juniata and SVU, the first two ending in a sweep for the Knights. But I knew Juniata was going to come differently this game. With the return of Tyler Goldsboro, a perennial All-American, fifth-year grad student, and a great player for Juniata, I knew they would be a little bit elevated from the team that competed against them just a couple weeks ago in the CVC final. And they showed it. They were ready to play. I think Juniata should have won the first set. They had a couple chances, couple set points, but SVU was able to sneak that one away. And then Juniata battled back in the second and fourth sets to push it to 5. The first time SVU has gone 5 all year. I had a feeling that this Juniata squad was going to come ready to play and compete, and they've done that all year. Some games better than others, but they battled hard and gave it a good run. I think their struggle initially was finding the right side out there, but I think when Robbins came in, he really solidified that right side role and was one of the most offensive guys on the team when he entered the lineup. But I will say, I think their setting was a little bit inconsistent. They run a 5-2 with two guys, Grant the senior and Sear the sophomore. And they have really varying tempos and balls that they put out for their hitters. I think that kind of caught up to them against a really good team over the course of 5 sets. Did they make some great decisions, great sets? Absolutely. A couple missed dials late in the game. I think that's a little bit contributed to the two very different balls that you see from those two guys. Grant more of a higher ball, Sear more of a quick tempo, fast ball. But they were in it all the way up into the 5th set when SVU had their right side go down with an injury. I thought they were going to compete all the way down to the line. So credit to them for coming out and getting all the way to that point, being a good Nichols team in their prior match. But obviously SVU came out on top due to strong play from, their core guys, Sheaffer, Brown, Evans, Bianchin, Tolman, Madsen. And even freshman outside hitter Brady Dast, who came into the 5th set when Candland got hurt and had an immediate kill and a 4-point service run to really solidify that 5th set. Swing the momentum back to the side of SVU and advance them to the final, which was massive during that game. I got a chance to attend both of the post-game press conferences for both of those teams. Very two different sides of the story based on losing and winning a semifinal match, but the emotion was there on both sides. The emotional defeat for Juniata and the last time that Goldsboro and Armando are going to be out there on the court in D3 men's volleyball. And then on the flip side, just relief and emotional burden being lifted off for SVU to advance to the final as well. So it's cool to see them express those emotions and describe how they were feeling about the results of the match and how it played out. So we'll move on to the final match between Springfield and SVU, and I thought this was an awesome game. Two juggernauts that really have played great ball all season. When I saw them play earlier on in the year in March, when Springfield got the best of SVU 3-1, I thought that was the best match of the year, and I thought there was a real possibility where those two teams either butted heads in the tournament or found their way to the final, just based on the level that I saw in that match. And it was true. Springfield has had a great run in the tournament. Gehrig was leading the charge offensively with 15 plus kills in like 5 out of his 6 past matches. Mulvaney, you know what you're getting from him, a top setter in the country and a great decision maker, and Rouault and Levinson and these other guys that have just been all conference, all American type players all year as well. That being said, while they did cruise through at Cal Lutheran and dominated them, the SVU level seemed to be a little bit too much for them. SVU's serve receive was stout. They stymied the serving pressure of Springfield for the most part. Tolman was really the difference in the final, I think. He found a way to get middles involved when it wasn't a perfect pass. And I think he just was playing chess in this game. Like, he was a step ahead of this Springfield scout, their blocking approach, and his ability to make the tough choice, make the unconventional choice, and oftentimes making the right choice stood out to me in that match. And I think it really characterized the type of season that he's had all year. I know Mulvaney won the frog jump setter of the year, first team All-American, the Tolman second team, but I think it's hard to argue that Tolman could have had a better year than what he had. 1 loss on the year, national champion. The team hitting percentage on the year was over 350 for a long time, which is tough to do, and he can just do it all. So he's a great player. I think he was really impactful in the final and totally leading up to this team and getting there and winning it. I think that this SVU team did such a great job of balancing their attack. It put so much pressure on the block. And despite not having Candland in the final with his injury in the semifinal, Jayden Hall stepped up and didn't have the best offensive night, but provided key points, great serving, good blocking, and a good effort to solidify that role after one of their pillars was unable to go in the final from an injury. So yeah, kudos to SVU. They played great all year, and found some of their best ball in the final, which after a long season, a lot of matches, is a tough thing to do. And it was led by the player of the year, most outstanding player of the tournament, first team All-American, and frog jumps outside of the year, Christian Sheaffer, who had a heck of a season. Every single year since he's been in D3, he's gotten better. If you look at his stats, his hitting percentage improves, his kills improve, blocks and aces improve. And this year was just the culmination of a great career. He's what we like to call King Kong, like a guy that you're going to give him the ball as much as possible, and he's going to be efficient and get you the points that you need to win games, especially when it's close down the stretch. I thought he was great out of the back row in the final. Springfield did their best to get forehands on him whenever possible, but Gehrig Tolman's great at finding guys in transition and definitely out of the back row. So that was one thing that I recognized from the final and semifinal matches of his involvement and how good he is hitting the bic. And he even hit a D-ball, I think, in the final as well, which was funny. But yeah, he's a great player, and this roster is just full of great players. Jeremy Brown, the middles, Bianchin and Evans, I think outclassed Springfield's middles a little bit. Hit a great percentage, were super efficient, and it's tough when you have a roster of great guys. Like, someone's going to get overshadowed by someone else. There's always going to be a quote-unquote best player. I think all these guys are awesome. As a fellow CVC competitor, I'm excited to see them graduate because this team is good and they know it. And when you're playing so many years together like this, it makes sense when you're putting it all together and winning a national championship. So, and that point really leads into my final thought, which is just the team chemistry on this unit really brought them there. I think Christian Sheaffer said it in a quote that the team did it for their school, they did it for the program, and he did it for his brother. And that just shows the kind of approach that he took, that this team took this year to really do it, to make up for not being able to get there last year and previous years with great teams as well. So kudos to them for getting the job done. And I think you got to tip your cap to them and Peterson for winning Coach of the Year. He's done a great job with that team. So what's next for D3 men's volleyball? I think Springfield is the favorite next season with returning almost all their guys. Mulvaney is one of the best setters in the country. I think if you return him, you're in good shape. SVU on the flip side are going to have to find some new guys, which I'm sure they will. But bringing back Tolman, but a lot of those other seniors are going to be graduated. So we'll see what's in store for these teams, these programs, and D3 men's volleyball in general. I look forward to covering it and diving into all the details on this channel. Hope you are too. I assure you, lots of great D3 content to come and D1 content as well as we make our way to Columbus for the NCAA tournament. So thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you on the next one. Peace.